JP Morgan chief executive Jacob Frenkel fears the consequences of a trade war. Mr. Frenkel, who is chairman of JP Morgan Chase International, made his remarks during an interview with CNBC's Steve Sedgwick at the European House Ambrosetti Forum in Italy. Asked about the tit-for-tit tariffs been slapped on one another by Washington and Beijing, he acknowledged, "I think it's the greatest danger today to the world economy. It's still not a trade war, I would say. There were some skirmishes, and there are skirmishes. I think we should all remember the disaster of 1931, always good intentions, to protect American jobs, and the result was a catalyst to the Great Depression." Mr. Frenkel also had words of praise for U.S. President Donald Trump's administration. "We should avoid it at all costs." U.S. President Donald Trump kicked off an increasingly fractious spell for Sino-American relations when he rolled out tough new tariffs of 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum at the start of last month. China hit back on Wednesday with a raft of similar duties on 106 U.S. export products, amounting to almost £36 billion annually. Mr. Trump upped the stakes still further yesterday, saying he had told the Office of the United States Trade Representative to consider $100 billion in extra tariffs against China. China, led by President Xi Jinping, has responded with tariffs on U.S. goods. Beijing has lodged a complaint with the World Trade Organization, WTO, about Mr. Trump's measures and questioned their legality. Mr. Frenkel warned, "A world that is so interdependent, so interconnected, cannot afford shooting each other. The world in which the rules of the game are an eye for an eye is a world in which there are many blind people." He emphasized his belief that the Chinese would be happy for talks aimed at resolving the situation, saying, "The Chinese are very rational. But any negotiations have to be respectful, not shooting, just talking." Mr. Frenkel, a former economic counselor at the International Monetary Fund, IMF, also took the time to praise the Trump administration's domestic economic policies, especially on financial deregulation. He said, "If you want real recovery, you have to have the business sector expanding their hiring and expanding their capital investments." The performance of the world economy in the 10 years since the credit crunch of 2008 had been so balanced and so positive, he added.